What is happening? Hey, welcome to Sunday Drive. Lord!
At the traffic lights, turn right onto Daniels Road.
Kind of.
Okay, ready?
Sure.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good, except I wanted to start the video while you were struggling with the traffic circle.
I was asking them.
Because that was fun. So I probably already used it.
Stay in the left 2 lane.
I don't know.
What am I doing?
I don't know.
I don't know what's happening here. Anyway, okay,
Can you
so...
hold that?
No. Okay, are we ready?
0.9 miles.
Oh my gosh!
West Colonial Drive.
I know where
We're on the way to showing.
got it.
Wait, we're missing the biggest story.
I know.
Maggie, come here, Maggie.
Come on, Maggie.
We brought Maggie.
We
just picked Maggie up from the groomer, and she
picked
looks
Maggie.
beautiful. You look beautiful, Maggie.
Yes.
But then let me come up in the front where there's food.
I know.
Look how beautiful she looks. She looks so beautiful.
She does get a treat, though.
Yeah, there's a light changing.
I see the light
Looks like
changing.
you're-
Okay.
Maggie's going to go through the windshield.
Okay.
On today's Sunday Drive.
Okay. All right. Did we really start?
Yes.
Okay.
That was good stuff.
All right, that's chaos.
So
All
we're
right.
going to a showing.
We are going to a show.
And on the way to the showing, we're going to talk about a very hot and clickbaity topic.
Oh my gosh, I'm not clickbait.
No,
I'm not that person.
I know, but that's why,
can't
why
stand it.
we don't have 10 million followers.
I don't
we don't
want 10 million followers.
Because then, so the next Sunday Drive, we're going to do nude. No, I mean, I'll pixel it out. Maybe.
Gross.
I will. No, I'll pixel it out, okay?
Seriously, can we start over?
No. Okay, so here's the thing.
Going to a showing, like in real estate
and
world.
the next one will not be nude.
Okay.
From waist up. With waist down, all nude. That's today.
I'm
Can't tell.
exhausted.
I know. So anyway, so we picked up Maggie from PetSmart. We're going to a showing.
Yes.
For some client friends that are in Michigan.
Yes.
So Doug and Irma, we're on our way. As you're watching this, we're on our way to your showing, which by the time this airs,
We will have shown.
maybe you will have made an offer. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
We'll see. We'll see what works.
And we're heading out to Esplanade at Highland Ranch, which, as we've talked about before, is a 55 plus, beautiful 55 plus community by Taylor Morrison. Anyway, so we're just going out to take a look at a quick house out there. One of the many things we do when clients are not here. Most of our clients live out of state or out of the country. So even though they were here recently, we toured around, and explored. So already kind of had the list of community likes and dislikes.
Yes.
So being able to show this to them virtually is still going to be helpful in them being able to feel confident in making decisions should they decide to send an offer.
And we are headed up Daniels Road at the moment. So we just came from PetSmart in Winter Garden Village where Maggie got her beautiful haircut.
Oh my gosh, and where it was chaotic.
I saw like 9. I was in the car getting things set up for the Sunday Drive. And I saw like 19 dogs come out of the thing.
It was, well, first of all, yes, PetSmart was crazy busy. But just the whole parking lot, and I will say it gets that way, but I think it's, we just, back here in Florida, in Orange County, we just started school on Wednesday. Wednesday was our first day of school back for this new school year. So,
and
I guess
personal note, thank goodness our son's schedule is good, and he's very happy.
Yeah, senior year in high school, that's great.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so, so we just kind of finished our first, week, but, 3 days of school for the first back to school season. So, which by the way, I think, and I know we're going to talk a little bit about this as we talk about your clickbait topic.
Yeah.
Is that, this is kind of a slow time anyway, only because, again, it's back to school time. Everywhere. Yep. Whether you live in a state that starts after Labor Day or whether you're like us and you start, a little bit earlier in August. By the way, we started really early in August.
Yes.
Like really early this time. It used to be middle of August, but it's just kind of that time of year where most people aren't necessarily actively looking to move.
Right.
Unless it was an emergency, I have to move, and we just now found out, because anyone that knew that they needed to relocate to another state with children that were school-aged anyway, likely would have been looking probably in the crazy feeding frenzy to secure the home to get themselves here and acclimated and moved in time for school to start. So it's just kind of a wonky time. I think.
And so at the moment we've got 3 active listings. And it's, we're always transparent. It's slow.
It's very slow.
It's very slow on the listing side.
Yep, and I will say that I think that that in all 3 of those cases, We actually had another listing that just went pending, which is great. They're actually cash buyers, supposed to close here a couple weeks, actually. But it was still slow showings with that one as well. We made a slight price correction, modification, and honestly, the same buyer came back again and was like, "Okay, well, we can make it work." And so that's kind of where we were with that.
And we always say that, the number one thing you have to think about if you're not getting showings and if a house is not selling is that you have to think, is it overpriced? None of your listings are overpriced. I ran the numbers again. I'm like, nope, we're good.
No, I think we're good too. I think that we, in full honesty, can validate that purchase price or that appraisal price for that list price. I absolutely do. Otherwise, we wouldn't have really listed it there to begin with.
I'm going to put the listings on the screen so you can see them and buy them, because they're all three really good and all of them are interesting and great possibilities for different reasons. So, and we're going down Route 50 right now, so we're headed west on Route 50. Route 50, the east-west connector. Behind us, straight into downtown Orlando. This way, straight into Clermont.
Oakland, and then Clermont, and then Groveland.
Yes, so we're almost to Oakland. And this is sort of the more, so this part is a little bit of the older business area. There's a golf cart store. There's a kind of newish car wash, which I need to always remember this area. Except we don't live here anymore.
We don't.
We live here in this area, but we lived right over there recently before we moved. So I always think, I can come up to that car wash. I'm like, no, I can't. It's a long way from where we live. That's a nice building.
Love the architecture.
Regal. I don't know. Anyway, so you can see the growth still here. So today, though, what I want to talk about, my clickbaity topic, by the way, just passed the gas station, $3.56 for gas. It's it's mid-August. I think if there's 350 something, 352 ahead or 353, I can't see the other number, but that's where gas is right now. People like to see that when we go past. But our clickbaity topic is not about gas prices. Our clickbaity topic is about.
I don't like that.
No, I know, but I'm gonna give you the topic. I want you to say it, and then I'm gonna put an effect on your voice, so it's yes.
No.
Okay, I'll do it. I have to do all the hard work.
No, I don't.
No. We're not really. I'm being ironic. We're not doing clickbaity, right?
Okay.
So this is 3.5. They just threw lights out. I think it's 365. I don't know. It's 375.
Everybody's turning in.
Yeah. 355. 355 for guys. So. Will the market crash? Now, we've talked about this before. I did that for effect, right? But will the market crash? Will the market crash?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. That's a good way to say it, because anything can happen, right? They didn't think in 2008 the market was going to crash, but...
Well, I mean, there's never... You can't definitively say because you don't know. But all signs point toward no.
And the reason I made the ironic joke, we're not being clickbaity.
Excuse me.
But, clickbait works. That's why people do it.
Yes,
but there are people that post video after video after video, guaranteed market crash this quarter, whatever. And they've been wrong 50 times in a row. But then someday the market will take a setback, and then they'll be like, it crashed. And that's why a lot of the people are like, the market is crashing. It's because they are trying to confirm what they've been telling you is going to happen for the last, 50 videos that they made. And the market's not going to crash. So we got 3 reasons why, among many, that we don't feel that the market is going to crash. So, first one, back in 2008, there was a vast oversupply. What?
They closed.
Yeah, they closed the DK Donuts, right? DK?
No, that wasn't it. But I don't think. But
I think that's where the donut was.
I looked.
Anyway, in 2008, there was a vast oversupply of houses for sale. Is that true today?
I'm sorry. Say what you said again. I was watching the cars. They were all slowing down.
Mawage.
Sorry.
I wasn't listening to you. Say it again.
I'm sorry.
In 2008, there was a vast oversupply of houses.
We do not have that problem.
We do not have that problem right now. Do we have more houses available than we had 6 months ago?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And then you can see that has had an effect.
Yes. And we're still in the Winter Garden area, 34787, where Amy is the number 1 realtor. That's right. Ding, ding. She doesn't let me talk about it, but it's true. in that zip code, it's still, there's like, houses are taking 2, 3, 4 weeks to sell as opposed to 2, 3, 4 hours to sell.
Right.
So it went 2, 3, 4 hours. I was like, are you just going to go through that thing?
I'm not.
I was axing.
Pro wrestling for you, babe.
Nice. At the Jim Beach Rec Center. That's nice. Anyway, we went from 2, 3, 4 hours to sell to 2, 3, 4 days to sell. Now we're at 2, 3, 4 weeks to sell. So on that pace, we'll be at 2, 3, 4 months to sell, and it'll be 2, 3, 4 years to sell. No, it's not going to happen. But so it's still, in terms of the definition, it's still a seller's market. There's still an undersupply of housing. The other thing, and I'll just ask you if you can verify this. The reason they say that we have an undersupply, but the other reason that matters is millennials are now at the age when they are trying to buy their first home. Have you seen that in the marketplace?
Yes, can verify.
Have you seen that in our family?
Yes,
yes.
Can verify.
Yes, so we've got 3 millennials all at some stage of having a house.
Home ownership, absolutely.
So that's number one. Number two, well, first of all, as I say number two, signs for the Western Shale, we're now coming into Oakland. This is where, so Oakland is a lovely place, not $3.47 for gas. Although some of these gas stations are a little deceptive. It's $3.47 and that's the cash price. And then they'll say it's more, whatever.
I thought you couldn't do that anymore.
Some of them do, for sure. Anyway, there's a sign there for Lake Apopka Sound for D.R. Horton.
Yep, we are going to talk to you about that here pretty soon as well. Get an update from our good friend Bo, who is the site agent there for that community, sales agent representing D.R. Horton over there, with some great updates on the community. So we'll update that on Coffee Time.
Is it possible to be a bad person if your name's Bo?
No.
Bo. You ever met a Bo that was... I don't think so.
I don't know that I've ever met a Bo, but...
Well, you Jody Bo.
Well, Jody Bo.
I call him Bo. That's one of my best buddies growing up. Jody Bo.
Also,
okay, so we talked about oversupply of whatever. Lending standards. Is it easy to... Well, I'll start with... In 2008, it was really easy to get a loan. We're in Lake County now, by the way.
Yeah.
You see, Clermont, the choice of champions.
Choice of champions.
Clermont welcomes you. So... I was driving with Marcia and Jerry were following me the other day, some clients and friends from Virginia. Looking at houses, they were following me. I was giving on the speakerphone, just giving them the tour. And so over here to the right, this is what I always call the paraglider airport.
Yes.
Because it was a big field, but now they're clearing it. So I guess they got to find a new place to land their paragliders. Anyway, it was very easy to get a loan in 2008. You could come in and say, I make $90,000 a year. And they would say, cool, here's a loan. And I'm not exaggerating. That's how it worked. There's a movie called, and a book first that I read first, and then I saw the movie, The Big Short, about this very thing. There were people in Miami who would go in and buy 3, 4, 5 houses as investment properties, and they would and then they couldn't afford to pay their mortgages, so they would all foreclose. So lending standards were very, very loose. How are lending standards now?
Not loose.
Not loose.
No, and I think that it's all of that pre-approval process and the submitting of all the documentation consistently. Ask anyone, excuse me, that has purchased a home and closed on it recently. There is a flurry of additional and repeat documentation, and they also do employment verification, sometimes even up to the day that you close. So
we just had that with our son's house. They're calling to verify employment the day before his thing. It's like you've verified his employment 9 times.
Yes.
But
there's they learned their mistake the first time, right?
So that's number 2. That lending standards are not loose. So the people that are able to get a loan right now, some would say it's too tight. But I don't know that I would say that, especially with interest rates going up a little bit. But people that can get a loan now are usually well qualified for that loan. And things can happen, and people can lose their jobs or whatever. Although in a time of 3.5% unemployment, it's there's not a lot of people losing their jobs, right?
Right.
So unless they want to. So that's number 2. Number 3, I was going to look at gas prices while we're there. So $3.53. It's getting cheaper as we go. So we did. There's an oversupply of housing. It is easy to get.
Rain right in front of us. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh yeah, building. That's okay.
Pretty cool.
Marriage. I'm also confused because we turned a place I didn't think we were going to turn.
Yeah, we turned.
because the back road. Yeah.
The back road. It saves us several stoplights.
There's a very yellow housing complex, but it's not really. I know it's just that's the color of the stuff.
Excuse me.
So the third thing is, in 2008, even though it was easy to get housing was not appreciating as much, and so Maggie's just laying down, chilling out. Oh, you're so cute. And so houses were not appreciating it. So if you bought a house a year later, it was only worth a few $1,000s more. I'm going to say a few thousand, but let's say back then you bought a $250,000 house. It might be worth $270 in a normal market by the time you were all done, right? How's equity going right now? How's it been the last 3 years?
It's been pretty frickin' amazing.
Yeah.
Which
that's the legal term for it.
Frickin' amazing.
Pretty frickin' amazing.
At least, I think pretty much anywhere, but especially where we are. Yep. And again, we speak more to where we are and what we know than it is across the country. But generally speaking, that has.
It's weird.
It's such a
see
weird
that stop sign because it's over there. This is a whole weird thing.
Well, they're
So the turnpike is down there, and then there's a whole thing happening.
Yes.
So for example, and this is where we're going with this. So people have more equity in their houses now than they did then. Why does that mean that there will be a housing crash? Well, here's why. So let's say that in 2008 you had $20,000 equity in your house that you bought 6 months before, a year before, whatever. Something changed. You lost your job, so whatever. And now you need to sell your house, but now the market is slowing down and prices are going down. Now your house is only worth $190,000, but you owe $250,000 on it. Now you're screwed, right?
Yeah.
Our daughter and son-in-law just sold their house for almost $300,000 more than they paid for it 3 years before.
That's a huge.
That's
return.
not normal, by the way.
No,
part of it is they had a great realtor. That is part of it, but that's only
we bought when it was right and we sold when it was right.
Yes, exactly. It was more about when we bought it than when we sold it. But anyway, so let's say that they lose 25% of the value of their home. Mm-hmm. Like it's just absolutely a crash, like 25% equity loss. Mm-hmm. Well, that house is still worth $150,000 more than they paid for it.
Right.
So they have $150,000 equity to then sell their house and go out into the marketplace and use that $150,000 to buy a new house where prices have come down as well. That's if it happened. So that wouldn't be a crash. Well, that would be a crash if you lose that much in value. But we'd be much more stable because people still, they've not lost the equity. By the way, your equity in your house is theoretical. It's not, now you can borrow against it. So that's good, but you've got to do something with it in order to make it happen, which is why Amy just sent on a postcard the other day saying, don't be worried about all this stuff right now, because if you own a home, you still have lots of equity. You can turn that equity into money to buy a new house. So, and I think it's going to be very, we just had a month where the annualized interest rate is still quite high, but the month-to-month interest rate was zero. Inflation rate, not interest rate. Mm-hmm. Inflation rate was zero, which is really interesting because if we have a couple months like that, maybe the Fed will stop raising interest rates. That would be good.
We're going to need to wrap this up because we're going to be at our show.
You wrap it up.
I'm just saying.
You do it. Well, that was my 3 points. That was good.
You got 3 points in?
I got them in.
Fantastic.
Lots of open house signs, by the way, again. Yeah. So, that's an evidence of what we're talking about, things slowing down a little bit. First of all, we weren't doing open houses because of the pandemic. But second of all...
Then you didn't need them.
You didn't need open houses because you'd put it on the market, and before you could have an open house...
And let's talk about really quickly, just as we go there. The other thing to remember with open houses is that most serious buyers and that means you or any of the people out and
Yes.
about, if you are serious about trying to find a home, you've probably enlisted the help of a realtor because you need them to get you into the home.
Yes.
So that realtor is able to schedule those showings.
Right.
So what you end up finding at open houses, and this isn't a bad thing, it's just a thing, is that you get people that might be out joyriding, that might just be going, oh, there's an open house. Like, they're not necessarily looking to buy. Maybe they haven't even done the pre-approval to know if they can buy.
Right.
You know, and sometimes you just get the neighbors to come in, looky-loos, right?
Yep.
They want to see what other neighbors have done to their house. Maybe it's the same floor plan. It doesn't mean that open houses are bad.
No, open houses can be very good.
They can be very good. A lot of times it's you know, you referenced it before, and I don't want to harp on it, but a lot of times it's for a realtor to find people that are popping in without a realtor and then acquire them as a client.
So you're looking for a home,
But I don't, that's not my purpose for an open house. My purpose is to try
but here's the thing. We like to be transparent. This is what they tell you in real estate school. They're like, if you want to find a lot of $400,000 buyers, have an open house at a $500,000 house. And the reason they say that is the people that walk into an open house generally aren't looking at that house. They're just kind of out there. And so that's how you do it. That's not to say it's a bad thing. And it can generate lots of, we had a great open house. We had like 15 people come in at the thing, but didn't get any offers from it, right? Mm-hmm. So I think on our next Sunday drive, we may take you around this neighborhood and show you more. But for now, we'll wrap up because there's our clickbait thing. And next time, all nude.
And I got to go do the showing.
Right, all nude.
Right.
Nude showings.
No! Oh my gosh.
There's going to be a realtor that thinks that's a great gimmick. They'll be wrong. That's not it'd be a terrible gimmick for me. But
right. Thank you for watching.
Those were all jokes.
All right, guys.
Say that thing.
Please stay safe, stay well. Remember, we love you. Happy house hunting.
Wait, Maggie, come here. Maggie.
Oh, Maggie.
Oh, she's sleeping.